we'll get started. This is just a legal disclaimer. This is part of our monthly webinar series geared towards small business clients of ours. And we're preparing this content and providing the content for your use, but we just ask that you let us know if you're going to use it. You're welcome to use anything that you hear in here. And if you need further clarification, don't hesitate to reach out, and we'd be delighted to help you with it. Today, I want to introduce special guest, Bernardo from Relay Bank. Last month, we had a webinar on Profit First and implementing it and the benefits of it. And today, you're going to meet Bernardo from Relay Bank, who helps automate that process and is one of the resources that we deploy with our clients to help them make that transition efficiently.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Once again, team, Lorena, Ariel, Liz, thanks for having me once again. It's always a pleasure to be with you all. All right. Am I on my spotty now?
You're on.
All right. Cool. Let's do this. Okay, sharing my screen. Have a quick presentation for us here. We'll move between my monitors. But first and foremost, welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to learn a little bit about Relay. As Tim mentioned, Relay is a business banking solution that helps small businesses to get better control of their cash flow, implement, automate Profit First, and improve financial workflow automations. And I will be delighted to guide you guys through on how Relay can possibly help you in your day-to-day from a banking perspective. So welcome. For our agenda today, I really want to give you all a little bit more context about Relay's history, what do we want to accomplish, who we want to serve, why Relay, how we can help, how we can add value, how we can support you in your day-to-day from a banking perspective. Really talk about Profit First implementation. I know you guys had a session last month about why implementing Profit First, and I really want to touch on how Relay can help you with that. Not less important, to talk about why it is important to work with a certified Profit First professional, certified Profit First firm to help you maximize and achieve your profitability goals. We'll go over the demo where we're going to see how it actually works in real life. And we'll talk about what next steps could be for you interested in getting started with Relay. And we'll finish with the Q&A for those who joined the call. If anyone with the team wants to ask questions, please, we'll have time for that. But you don't need to wait until we get to the Q&A. Just please interrupt me at any time and ask the questions as they come up. Because if you are like me, probably forget the question by the time you have the chance to ask them. So don't wait, just interrupt me.
Sounds good. And feel free, you can even chat them in there. Bernardo,
Absolutely.
I'll man the chat, and so.
Thanks, team. And if you or anyone in the team wants to jump in and make a point or clarify something, ask, please do. You guys are part of it. I'm the guest here, so I would love to have you guys participating as much as you can contribute to what we're going to cover. In terms of Relay history, Relay was founded in 2018 as a banking platform to support small businesses to have cash flow clarity and really be empowered with relevant data so they can make smart business decisions from what they see. One of our co-founders and current CEO, Yusuf West, was an early contributor at HubDoc, which is a receipt management tool that was acquired by Xero, and working in the accounting industry for a long time. He saw that a big challenge for small businesses was understanding their cash flow. They might be making a good revenue, but the money is just in there. It's hard to buy something. It's hard to afford something. There's some periods in the month where you probably falling short, and a lot of decisions are made typically by opening your banking app and seeing how much you have sitting in your checking account to determine, can I make this investment? Can I buy this inventory? Can I hire someone else and stuff like that? As we have evolved over the past few years, we went from pretty much a banking platform tool to a financial workflow software that not only works as your day-to-day banking, but also other financial workflows that you have to deal with in your operations. Payables, receivables, team spending, card management, and all of that. Uh, which makes it easier for you once you have everything consolidated in one place. You don't have to log into multiple apps, spreadsheets. You log into one environment and you see what's coming in, what's going out, when, and what is my current balance, projected balance, and all of that. We currently partner with over 2,500 accounting firms, just as Kenny CPA, and we have over 110 small business clients on Relay with more than $1 billion in assets under management. And we are actually slightly over 10,000 SMBs actually practicing profit first. So it's close to 8-9% of our customers use profit first in their day-to-day banking. Important also to mention that Relay is backed up by Thread Bank, that is a member of the FDIC, meaning that all Relay accounts are FDIC insured up to $3 million per entity, as well as our cards are powered by Visa, meaning that all Relay cards are insured by Visa zero liability policy as well. So from a security perspective, we have some big partners that back us up in providing financial services.
Yeah, Bernardo, just one thing to add. Relay Bank is the official Profit First partner.
Yes.
And I know Mike McCallitz, the author of Profit First, had some criteria, one of them being low fees and easy use. And Relay checked the box on both of those and beat out a lot of other competing banks.
Thanks for sharing that, Tim. 100%. I actually had a slide to go over the partnership between Relay and Profit First, but that team already shared. Relay is the official partner bank of Profit First, and the reason is a lot of what Mike preaches in his book, in his public speaking. Relay is able to provide customers, as well as when we were designing the partnership. For example, the allocations was a must-have from Mike to make sure that Relay was stamped as the official partner bank, which we're going to cover in a little bit. So why Relay? Why use Relay as your banking platform, financial workflows? And as I mentioned, our main value proposition, our ultimate goal, and that's why we wake up every day and show up for work, is to help small businesses to have visibility, to have a better cash flow management. Have visibility. Visibility is key when it comes to making decisions in the business, especially financially. So I have a quote here from one of our customers who stated that their cash flow improved significantly after using Relay. But how? How that all those nice words actually go into effect? Essentially, how Relay helps small businesses, you can have up to 50 accounts with no monthly fees, no minimum balances, and you can automate your profit first allocations. So if you're doing profit first, 100% Relay is definitely going to really be helpful and empower you to adopt the methodology. As I mentioned, all-in-one financial workflows, accounts payable, accounts receivable, expense management. Having everything condensed in one place will give you visibility and predictability of what's coming in, what's going out, when, so you can make the best decision based on the data that you have in one place. You can have up to 50 debit or credit cards for each entity, which makes it easier for employee spending. So you can assign cards for different employees, as well as having cards for different type of expenses. For example, uh, advertising or travel or different or gas, different purposes with meticulous expense organization. Receipts are uploaded. You can have the reconciliation within Relay. So again, having banking and expense management in the same software can really help you on the day to day. No minimum balances. I typically like to say that a lot of banks hold your money hostage just to give you the privilege of working with them. I think it's more of the other way around. Banks are privileged to have you doing business with them and not the other way around. So you don't need to keep your money hostage. You can absolutely allocate that money towards something else, inventory or payroll or whatever you need, instead of keeping the money in the bank just to avoid some fees. As any other financial institution, you absolutely can send, receive ACH wires and checks. And especially when you're working with an accounting firm, a consultant, for example, you all here work with Tim and his team. It's really important to ensure that that collaboration happens effectively, but also with security measurements in place. So you're not sharing logins externally. You're providing people's access to your account with different layers of permissions. So what, for example, team can do in your account, an employee of yours can't, and vice versa. So it's really important to make sure that whoever needs to have access to your bank account is doing that properly, and really actually enables you to do that.
Bernardo, can you take a minute and just talk about the tech aspect of Relay? Is it seems like the platform is very user friendly and has a lot of nice bells and whistles.
Absolutely, and thanks for bringing that up, Tim. I think a big important factor for us is we want to make something functional, but it also has to be user friendly. No matter how sophisticated you develop a tool, if the user can't really use it because it's hard to find things, it's not helpful. It's actually, it works on the contrary. So from a software perspective, where we add a lot of value to our customers, existing and upcoming ones, is accounts payable. How can you pay your bills in an automated way, super easy and super fast? When you're getting paid, how can you invoice? How can you send someone a payment link that will get you paid fast, easy, with no problem? As you're using cards here and there, traveling, buying gas, whatever you need, whether it's an employee, whether it's you, the owner of the business, how is that interaction happening? Who is buying what? Who can do what? The receipts are really important to ensure that these transactions are properly reconciled, your books are properly closed, so you can file your tax properly. All that software dynamic lives in one place where you can easily have access to and provide access to Tim and his team so they can see what they have to see without a lot of back and forth. Was this what you're looking for, Tim?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. No, thank you for the question. All right. Well, I actually put this slide here because I know you had something very, very, very similar. Exactly, the traditional formula converted into the profit first formula when you talked about profit first last month. So just quick revisit on the profit first. Typically, a lot of the times, especially in the day-to-day, you learn that sales minus your expenses equals your profit. The whole idea of the profit first is to make sure that sales minus your profit equals your expenses. So you're making sure that profit comes first. Um, I think everything in life, everything that is the last one, it's probably not going to get attention or it's probably not going to get done. So if your profit comes last, most likely you'll not get a profit. So profit has to come first. So you're making sure that you're generating the profitability. And one of the things that Mike says in his speaking that for me resonates the most is as a business owner, a lot of the times you work in the business, you are in the day to day, you are in the operations. Most of the time, you're probably wearing multiple hats. That if you had someone doing what are you doing, or actually some people doing what are you doing, you would be paying them a W-2. Maybe a W-9, but definitely a W-2. You need to make sure that that W-2 actually gets paid to you, and that's your owner's comp. That's your salary for working in the business. Profit is completely different. Profit is actually your reward for taking the risk of being an entrepreneur. Paying yourself salary, the owner compensation, does not reward you for taking the risk of being an entrepreneur. That is for the profit, and you need to make sure that you get the profit to compensate you for that. So, didn't want to touch too much on something that you guys already covered last month, but I think these concepts are really meaningful and really important to have top of mind all the time.
Thank you.
So, profit first, you already know why we want to make sure that business is profitable. You're getting rewarded by your for taking the risk of going an entrepreneurial route. As we already covered, Relay is the official partner of Profit First from a banking perspective. And the reason essentially is because the value of Profit First, the concept, the idea of Profit First, Relay really empowers users to implement it. So, as I mentioned, you can have multiple accounts. Bernardo, you set up to 50, but Profit First recommends me to open 5. Maybe I only need 5. Absolutely. Maybe you only need 5, but maybe you want to have an account for a different project that you're working on. Maybe you want to have a different account for your payroll. So instead of concentrating all your operating expenses in the same account, you can have OPEX and you can have a payroll account, or you can have another account only for traveling, another account only for a specific thing. So it gives you the freedom and autonomy to, of course, follow the model with the 5 traditional accounts, but also add accounts for different purposes as you need. Um,
Well,
last,
one other note, Bernardo, is
yeah,
it's synced. The other one thing I do like about Relay is it syncs up really nicely with QuickBooks.
yeah.
So adding those accounts, the reconciliation functionality is very good.
Thanks for bringing that up, Tim. I was going to show you on the product, but Relay does integrate directly with QuickBooks. It's not a third-party connection. So everything that happens on Relay gets exported to your QBO immediately. So all transactions in your income account, going to your taxes, to your owner pay, all the payments that are coming from your OPEX account are automatically being fed into your QuickBooks Online, and Team's team will have access to that and will be able to reconcile. Besides the multiple accounts, again, a lot of the challenges that we have seen, and I think here, team, you probably see them much more often than we do on this end. Um, Implementing profit first, so making sure that the allocations happen and that given day is a big challenge, is a big blocker because people forget, they don't have the time. Sometimes you need to use a calculator to move that 5.2% from your income account to your profit account or all of that. Once Relay came in as the official partner bank of Profit First, this was a deal breaker. If we didn't have that, the partnership would not have continued because once you automate that, whenever you choose the automation to happen and by what percentage, it goes over your mind. You're sleeping, the system does that for you. So, as Tim mentioned at the beginning, uh, Relay helps enables implementing profit first very easily. And that increases. If you don't have to worry about it, you can focus on how you scale your business, how you grow your business, how you drive more income, and how you increase your profit percentage so your reward is even higher for being a business owner. As I mentioned, Relay will help you automate and implement profit first, but it's really, really important. And actually, I think the best word here is crucial for you, any business owner, to make sure that you're working with a profit first certified professional, profit first certified practice, just as Kenny and Kenny, to make sure that your allocations are correctly established. What you're currently allocating, you understand what that is, you understand where you have to be and how you're going to get there. Relay is not in a position to give you that consultation. We want to help you with the operational. The brain behind the operation is where Tim and the team will come in with the expertise. You're currently allocating 0.5% of to your profit, or you currently have no profit at all. In the next 6 quarters, in the next 10 quarters, in the next 5 quarters, we're slowly increasing your profit or your tax allocation until we get to what is considered healthy for your business line, for the type of business you have, considering your particularities. So, with all that said, again, really, really, really important for you to get advisory from a profit first certified professional to help you structure your profit first methodology in the best way as possible, and Relay will help you with the deployment. Anything here, team, that you want to highlight?
I guess the one thing is the better the business implements profit first, the more valuable that business grows. Because when you think about it, if you're selling a business and profit distributions have been growing, as those profit distributions grow, indirectly, you can almost guarantee that the value of that business is growing. So having a partner bank like Relay that makes that process easy with automation allows us to work better with the client more seamlessly.
Definitely. And I think it all comes down to this is a trio. It is the business working with the advisor team, working with Relay. And it really needs to ensure that this trio is working aligned.
Totally agree.
All right, so hopefully now we're gonna get to the more showing part, less slides, more action. So I will log into my Relay account, but before I actually do that, this is the first thing that I want to bring to your attention, as I mentioned, collaborating securely, individual logins. You see here, Bernardo, and that's me. No one has this login. No one will ever or should ever have yours. Whoever needs to access your account, whether it is your advisor team, whether it is your employee, they will have their own. So now I provided my credentials, system is loading. And what I'm seeing here is a view that an advisor would have. So for example, team would have access to a few accounts here because he works with like several clients. But if you are an entrepreneur who owns multiple businesses, if you have multi entities, real estate very common. You have a holding, you have an operating LLC. You will also have visibility of all the organizations that you have from this dashboard, which can be very helpful for preventing you from logging in and logging out when you have to access multiple different businesses, bank accounts within the same bank. I'm going to choose one of my clients here that I want to log in. And as soon as I do that, again, from a security perspective, that is my name here at the top. That is the entity that I'm having access to right now. So at this homepage, you will get a pretty detailed summary of your entire banking setup. You have your total balance that is available. You have the total balance considering the transactions that are probably pending at the time. If you have your credit card with Relay, it would tell you your credit card balance. And actually, this is being developed projected balance coming up X weeks. There's also a quick summary here for you on your specific accounts, inflows, outflows. This is also something that is being rolled out, that was rolled out this week. And currently, I think a percentage of our customer base has access to, but soon enough, probably when you're watching this recording, you will have this visibility in your account. You can see here your debit, credit cards, your different accounts, and of course, all the transactions that are happening below, which you can filter, you can search based on a specific need. As I move to accounts, this is where your individual accounts live. I know there are some banking partners out there that have envelopes, that have a pocket of money, that have a sub account. What I want to call out here is that each tile that you can see here is an individual, unique bank account. Despite the routing number being the same, because the financial institution is the same, you can see that the account number changes. So each one of them has its own bank statement, which again allows you to implement deploy profit first, as well as it is recommended by Mike and the profit first community. Super easy to add a new account. You will click on the button, choose the name of the account that you want, and here you can be as creative as you can. Of course, you can go the traditional OPEX, income, tax, owner compensation, but you can create an account for a specific project, for a specific property that you want, for a specific person in the business that you want. You can really be creative here and of course choose between a checking and a saving account. Once you have that account created, it will immediately populate here. And anytime you can see the accounts that you have, you can reorder how they are displayed here to make sure that, for example, the account that you use the most is coming up first. Now that you have created your profit first accounts, what you want to make sure is that you automate your auto transfers. So you will choose a profit first rule. Again, you can name the rule. And whatever frequency that you were advised by Kenny, CPA, let's say every week, for whatever reason, it was decided that for you specifically, weekly was the best. For a different client, it could have been monthly. It could have been bi-weekly. It could have been twice in a month at different dates. And that's why, again, it is important to work with a profit first professional to make sure that everything that is customizable here is actually set up in a way that serves your business the best. So again, every week on a Friday, and it was decided that you're going to keep $0 in your income account. And this is going to be the percentage allocation going into your 50% owner comp. It's too much. Operating expenses, owner's comp, Uncle Sam, and profit. Bernardo, can I have more accounts here? Absolutely. You can add as many accounts as you want. For example, we have a payroll account here, and for some reason, we already know your accounting partner already told you that 2% of your payroll, of your income goes to your payroll, for example. The only thing that you need to be very careful is to ensure that this is 100 out of 100. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to create a rule. So here, probably you will reduce this to 48%. And now I am 100 out of 100. But you can add as many accounts as you want, just making sure that your percentage matches to 100. Once you have that profit first rule created, you can active, inactive, you can have multiple profit first rules running at the same time. So you can do allocations coming from one account to the other account, and then the next day from that other account goes to other accounts by percentage. Again, working with your profit first professional, you can really leverage multiple profit first rules and allocation. But most importantly, you can edit them at any time. Because, for example, in my initial example, you will work within 6 quarters to get from where you are to where you should be. There will be variation during the time you will build up that muscle. So you will probably be editing the percentage ever so often as you make progress in your profit first plan. So you will be able to do that from here too. Bernardo, Tim, I already bank with Bank of America, with Chase. I have a credit union that I really enjoy. I don't know, my manager at that credit union barbecues. We play soccer or football together. Do I have to close that? Do I have to like turn down a relationship that I have had, my dad had, my grandpa had? No, not really. You don't have to. The perfect answer is you don't have to. Relay can be another tool for you, and you can have your relay account connected to your Chase, Wells Fargo credit union in order to transfer money back and forth between those institutions. And if you decide to go with relay and keep your existing bank, essentially it puts you in a position to choose the best of both worlds. There might be something that you're really passionate about with Bank of America, with your credit union, besides, of course, the manager who you barbecue with. There's probably, if there is something that you're really passionate and you want to keep, why not? Where do they fall short to you that really adds value and helps you in your day to day? You can use the best of the both worlds. What serves you best in another bank, you can use it. What serves you best on Relay, you can also use it. So by any means, you need to turn down what you already have. Relay can come in as an add-on, especially helping you with your profit first allocations. But remember, there are other opportunities and products available within Relay that you can leverage for a better financial workflow management.
Bernardo, I do love that feature because oftentimes I find business owners do have ties to other banks, and or it took them a long time to link up certain collection processes, and they don't want to they don't want to move off of that right away.
Exactly.
With this feature, you can start implementing profit first immediately and retain that original banking relationship. So that's
Absolutely.
that's really valuable.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Tim. And
Yeah.
again, we see a lot of customers getting started with Relay while keeping that external bank. Honestly, it is a decision that will come up with time. If you still want to keep it, why? And again, you can keep it. You can continue to work with another bank while you work with Relay. Um, as we talk a little bit about cards, we did cover that your business can have up to 50 cards, debit or credit for the business, of course, that qualify for credit. And this can be really helpful for uh, team spending. If you have employees, let's say your construction company, you have employees going to Home Depot to buy inventory, you can give them a card to do that. So they go to Home Depot and they buy from that card. You have a marketing team, they have ads, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Everything is charged on that card so you can track that. You can see here I have a cards for ads. I have a card for an airline, probably. I don't know, I'm a travel agency. I have another card for gas. Am I a construction company? Am I a landscaping company? So I gave a card to the guy who drives the truck, but he can only spend in a gas station. So again, you can really create cards and provide a name for that card with the specific need that you need for that. So all those cards can really be assigned to team members for different purposes and all of that. I want to cover a little bit of like how that looks like and how you can leverage it. Being mindful of time, we have roughly 20 minutes left. So every time you're issuing a card, you're going to choose between a debit or a credit. You can choose the card format. So you want a virtual, you want a physical. Bernardo, I'm just doing a purchase at a sketchy website. Maybe you want to issue a temporary virtual card that will only be allowed to be used once. But in this case, I'm going to choose a virtual card. If it's a debit card, for example, you will have to tie that card up to your to the checking account that you want. OPEX is probably the one that makes sense. But if you ended up creating another checking account, for example, for travel or for whatever reason, you can have a backup account that if you don't have enough funds in your OPEX, instead of you getting a rejected transaction, the funds will be pulled from that backup. Primary card holder, you can choose the person who is going to be responsible for solving anything related to the card. And this is where there's a big value for you with team spending. As you're assigning cards to people, to staff members, you can actually control and restrict what is allowed, what is not allowed when using this card. For example, I can block liquor stores. So this card will be working fine everywhere unless it is a liquor store. Or this card can only be used at a hardware furnishing store. So I'm a construction company, I'm a renovating company, I'm a landscaper. This card can only be used there. Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever house improvement store that you go into. Spending limits, were the limits for daily transactions, for monthly transactions, so you can control that. And anytime you can increase and decrease instantaneously through your app. So you don't need to go into the call the bank verification and all of that tedious process. You can have approval spending. So for example, everything that is over $900, it needs to be approved by this person, for example. And you can set up controls. For example, if it's a physical debit card, you don't allow ATM withdrawal. Again, I just want the person to be able to go to Home Depot and buy stuff. They can't withdraw money. They can't withdraw cash. Not allowed. As well as if they cross the border, they also cannot use this card. So if they go to, I don't know, Cancun for vacation, they of course will not be using the card because it won't work there. You can have card customization, so you can choose the color of the card. You can choose a different background. We can be very helpful to distinguish the cards as you have quite a few numbers of cards that you can issue. Cards name, so that's again hardware. That's again what you're going to have printed on the card, so you know that this is the card that you're going to bring to Home Depot. And last but not least, you can choose if this is a shared card, so multiple people across your team will be using it, or it's only one person who is going to be using it, and you have the receipt admin. Once you have the card created, the card will populate in this view here, where you at any time can freeze activate the card, but also at any time you can change all that setup that we just covered. Limit, where it's allowed to be used, where it's blocked to be used. I now want to allow ATM withdrawal. You can edit that instantaneously, either from your desktop or your mobile app. As we talked a little bit about expenses, every time you use the debit card or the credit card, you can have an enforcement that the receipt has to be collected and sent over to Relay, either by a unique email address that is assigned to every organization or uploaded directly in the app. And once that happens, the receipts will be populated and you can match the transaction with the proper receipt. And that will ensure that first, your transactions are really business transactions. So you're making sure that the money is being spent for the business, but you're also ensuring that you're collecting the receipts, which will ensure that those transactions are properly reconciled, your books are properly closed, and your taxes are probably filed. From other financial workflows that really enables business owners, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in them, but it's just important for you to know that from an accounts payable perspective, you can have your payables, your bills automated and paid through Relay. Again, automated. So you create bills, whether you create your bills directly on Relay by uploading an invoice that you received, or even telling your vendors, don't send me an invoice. Send the invoice to this email address here. A bill will be automatically created. Or you can have that invoice that bill created in your QuickBooks Online, and that gets imported onto Relay. So now that you have bills here, you can start paying them. You will see all the information. If that bill, as I mentioned, the vendor send the invoice via email to that email address. Let me choose one that will show this here. Hold on. That invoice that your vendor sent to the unique email address for your business will actually populate here. I don't know why it's not showing. Good thing that this isn't a fake environment. So let me try one more. Yeah, for some reason it's not loading, but you'll be able to see all the information and you can pay that bill. It's always also available and possible that you might want to have some approval workflows there. So everything below $900, Bernardo can pay no problem. If it's over that amount, you probably want to be the reviewer and approve that. So you can create those security measurements that you ensure that the bills are being paid properly by whoever you decided to give permission to this. In terms of getting paid, again, that is your receivables. You can either invoice from Relay, so you can come in here, upload an invoice, or even populate this to have that invoice created, or you can just send a payment request to a customer of yours. And this can be really helpful, especially for home services. Let's say I am an electrician, Tim called me to fix one of the light bulbs or whatever electric issue that he's having. I came in, I fix it. I'm still standing in his living room. And before I leave, instead of collecting a check, I'm just like, Tim, hold on, I'm just send you a payment link request. You get that in your phone. He gets it, he pays me. The money comes to my account. It's traceable. It syncs with your QuickBooks Online, which again allows reconciliation, proper books to be closed, proper taxes to be filed. So accounts payable, accounts receivable, everything living in one place will not only give you visibility on what's coming in, what's going out, and when, making it easier for you to monitor your cash flow, but also ensure that everything that is needed from an accounting perspective leading to your taxes is communicated with your accounting function, who will need that information available. From a collaboration perspective, and that is leading to the very end. As I mentioned, you need to collaborate with your accounting function. You need to collaborate with staff members, employees. You would do that securely. Relay allows you to add people to Relay to your account and choose their different permission levels to make sure that, for example, I want this person with deposit only capabilities. So this person can only collect checks on site, scan them through the mobile app, and deposit them. They can move money, they can initiate transactions, they can't see card transactions, they can't see transactions, they can only deposit money. You might want to have someone who is a card holder. So this person can only swipe the card, right? We assign them a card, they can only do that. Upload the receipt and all the kind of stuff, but they cannot do anything else. We want to have someone with a bill payer permission, so they can initiate bills that I have to approve first. So different layers of permissions based on how much privilege do you want to give to your employee, to your advisor in your account. Another thing that I really always like to call out is, Bernardo, I have up to 50 accounts. I have 8 accounts. Do I really need my staff to have visibility on all those 8? The answer is no. Depending on their permission level, you can actually limit which accounts that person will have access to. Probably you don't want your employees having access to your owner comp and your profit account. That's something personable to you as the owner of the business. You probably don't want your day-to-day employees, the executors, having visibility of how much you're getting paid for the work you do in the business and how much you're being rewarded for taking the risk of owning the business. So again, collaboration internally and externally, easy and safe. And last but not least, as you go here to settings, that is where you will get your integration set up, specifically your accounting software being QuickBooks Online. So your invoices, your bills, your transactions sync over to your accounting software, as well as if you're running payroll through Gusto, Relay does have an integration with Gusto. And out of everything that integration provides, I think what is more valuable and relevant is that the account that you have connected with Gusto for payroll purposes, if you don't have enough money in that account to process your payroll, you will get a warning and an email from Relay telling you you are short by this much, which will give you time to bring funds from your OPEX account to your payroll account, so you know that 2 days from now, when Gusto comes from an ACH draft, it will not bounce and you will not be charged a NFS or get a penalty with Gusto because you didn't have enough funds. And of course, once you complete, if you have other entities with Relay, you will click on View All, which will bring you to that initial view that we saw. If you have another business of yours that you want to add on to Relay, you will click here to add another business. But if you finish your banking work for today, of course, we log you out after a few minutes, but you want to log out and leave. So this is logged out. In the last 8 minutes that we have, hopefully this was helpful, this was insightful, and more importantly, this is valuable for you to your business to whatever extent, if it is only for profit first, if it is for profit first and manage your payables, if it's for profit first and managing team spending on cards, invoices. Again, you can use the best of both worlds, 3 worlds, 4 worlds, how many bank relationships you have. And if you came up until here and you can see Relay being valuable, resourceful to you, what comes next? Hopefully by this time you would have already had a conversation with someone at Kenny CPA who would have worked with you to get you set up with Relay. Most of the times they will have sent you a formal invite for you to join Relay, which will ensure that because you're coming from a trusted partner, an official Relay partner, your onboarding happens much faster, your transaction limits are higher, and your transaction settlement times are much faster. For example, a check deposit from for a trusted user takes 1 to 2 business days versus a user that we don't have data yet, where we don't know each other, so they're still building that relationship with Relay, would take between 5 and 8 business days. So you want to get that best experience of Relay from the first day without having to build that up, because team already built that up for you. So you come in from the relationship. So you'll get an invite, it will prompt you to submit your application. And as soon as you complete your application, please feel free to let Bernardo know, let someone at Kenny CPA know who looked me in, and I will make sure that I review your application, make sure everything is good, request it to be prioritized as it comes from an official partner. And as soon as you get approved, we will be introducing you to your onboarding specialist. And we really want you to take that free onboarding call that is provided to you as a perk, considering you are a client of Kenny CPA, to make sure that whatever relay will add value to you, everything that you saw today, what you need to use gets set up and customized to your needs. Again, if it's a 5%, 2%, if it's happening weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, this is something that you will work with team and the team. Relay will help you automate and set up with that. So probably, I think team, this is probably where you can weigh it in based on our conversation yesterday, that you will be told what you need to accomplish on the onboarding call once you get started.
That's right. Yeah, we will work with you to figure out what the rollout plan is. So like what your allocations are. As Mike says, Rome wasn't built in a day. This is new for you and your business. And so we just want to make sure that we minimize failure points. And one of the great things about having that dashboard is when we're working with you, we can real time adjust those percentages.
Perfect. Thanks, Tim. And that pretty much brings us to the Q&A in the last 4 minutes. Should we have any questions? I'll stop sharing my screen. Oh, no, I can see the chat without stop sharing. Oh, it seems that we have no questions.
Bernardo, you did a phenomenal job. You answered everyone's questions, but
Thank you. Awesome. Well, if questions arise, feel free to reach out to me at bernardo@relayfi.com. I'll be happy to connect, answer questions, help you get started. For the Kenny CPA folks, feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have a question, if you have a client that you want to discuss, if you're setting up a client and you want to have a conversation, a three-way call with the client, please leverage me for that. My whole job here is to make sure that you and the client are set up for success. So please leverage me as much as you can. And I couldn't finish without saying thank you very much again for having me. It is always great to be with you guys, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
thank you, Bernardo. Great opportunity to have you share this awesome technology and banking option for clients, and anything we can do to help our clients be more successful with partnerships like with Relay Bank and tools like this that are very affordable and easy to roll out is we're going to take advantage of it with you. So thanks for joining us. We're going to have the recording available. So if you want to, you can review anything in greater detail, and we'll have Bernardo's email available as well. So it'll be convenient for you to reach out to him. So Bernardo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for the invite, and excited to connect with you individually later on. And I would love to see someone from here in my email box whenever needed.
All right.
Thanks.
You got it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.